Hi, this is Megan Matthew doing my history as a social studies learner. I honestly don't remember too much about social studies in school, and I know that has to say something about me as a social studies learner. But there are some main points that really do stick out in my head. In elementary school, you always learn about the Pilgrims and Indians, and I do remember learning about that. We did create a play and read stories and act it out in front of the class. We also did a project in the 5th grade. We each got assigned a person, and we had to really look into that person, create posters, dress up as them, even like talk like them, make up a script, and the parents actually got to come in and watch. I was William Peka, so created a poster, I did some dressing up, and then we actually got to, as a 5th grade class, go to Annapolis, and that was a really cool experience because I actually got to see William Peka's house and his belongings, which was cool because I studied this person so much that I felt like I knew everything about him. So it was cool to see his house and his belongings and see where he lived and did everything that he did. Middle school, I just don't remember a lot. I do remember learning about Lewis and Clark. We did do a project with Lewis and Clark where we created like a journal, and we acted like we were going on like our own adventure like Lewis and Clark did. I remember learning about the Trail of Tears. That, to me, that topic has stuck out to me even now. I love to learn about that kind of stuff. I think social studies is fun, and I think if a teacher can make lessons fun and exciting, that students will remember all the topics and important events that happened. I do remember learning about the U.S. presidents. I remember learning a lot about Maryland in social studies in middle school, about the Chesapeake Bay, and then I do remember in a reading class that I had, we actually read Number the Stars by Lois Lowry, and that's a book about the Holocaust, and I think that topic is so interesting. So involving social studies and different kind of subjects is also a great way to have students really remember it. In high school social studies is very boring. Teachers just like to stand up at the transparencies, which we had, or the projectors, and lecture you, talk about what happened. They don't like to do fun activities that you just sit there and take notes after notes after notes, which isn't fun. And as a learner myself, I did not like that, so I hope as a teacher I can accomplish getting my students to really be engaged in lessons. Also in high school, a lot of U.S. history, learning about the wars and the Holocaust, which I find very interesting. But the wars are very boring to me. So I don't remember a lot. I didn't have teachers that really were engaging me, and I'm that type of learner. And the government, the judicial system, the legislative system, the Supreme Court. I do remember doing a brochure with that, creating a brochure and explaining what each system does. Personal connections. Now, 9/11 obviously lived through that, and that has impacted me now, and it has impacted our world so much now. At the time, I was in 5th grade, didn't really know what was going on, but now when we learn about it in school, it's crazy to think that I was when they're here when that occurred. Personal goals. My personal goals for social studies is just to be a good teacher. Having my kids like really remember social studies, creating really engaging lessons is really important to me because that's the way I learn, and I know it's fun and exciting, and I know that kids will remember topics and important dates and events if you do it in a creative and fun way. If you're just standing there and doing lecture and having them take notes, they're not really paying attention. They're just writing what you say or writing what they see. And actually, when the movie Lincoln came out, I did not think I was gonna like it. It's a very long movie, but you actually learn a lot. I really enjoyed that movie. It was really well made, and I learned a lot about Lincoln and the time that he was in presidency. I really enjoyed that movie, and I mean overall, throughout my experiences with social studies, I really don't remember a lot, but like I said, as a upcoming teacher, I really do hope to encourage my students to be engaged in lessons and come up with creative and fun ways to show them important dates and events that happened in our history.